My dear friends, in the electric capacitance first class we have discussed a lot of things about the electric capacitance, spherical conductor, and then we have discussed about the parallel plate capacitor. In the second class we have discussed a lot of things about the potential energy of a capacitor, its energy density and grouping of a capacitor. In the third class we are going to discuss about the dielectric. Okay, so before going to know about the dielectric, we should know what is dielectric and what it does when placed in between the two parallel plates. Clear? So dielectric is an insulator. Dielectric is an insulator that induce electric charge by the application of external electric field, but does not conduct electricity. When a dielectric is placed in between the parallel plates, a charge is induced, that is, each atom of electric dipole, what happens? They are having equal number of positive and negative charge. The positive charge and negative charge get displaced. Okay? And depending upon that displacement, again the dielectrics are categorized into two types. We will discuss in detail. Okay? Dielectric. It is an insulator that induce electric charge by the application of external electric field. But does not conduct electricity. I would like to say that when some potential difference is maintained across the dielectric slab, then there is no current flow because there is no movement of charge. Clear? Only the positive charge and negative charge of each atom, their center of gravity get displaced. Clear? But there is no movement of the charge. Clear? So I have discussed that it conducts or it induces electric charge but does not conduct electricity. Clear? And how much charge gets displaced? How much charge gets displaced and how it affects, that is called the dielectric strength. And depending upon the dielectric strength, it's how the potential increases or decreases, or electric field changes and capacitance changes will be already discussed. Clear? So I would like to say that when some dielectric is placed in between the two parallel plates of capacitor, this plate is positive charge and this plate is negative charge. When the dielectric near end of the dielectric towards positive charge will induce a negative charge, while the near end of a negative will induce a positive charge. It means opposite charge get induced automatically, and hence each atoms having positive charge and negative get displaced. Such phenomena is called polarization, the displacement of charge by the application of electric field across a dielectric slab is called polarization of a dielectric. Clear? So according to this polarization, all dielectrics are classified into two types. One is called polar dielectric and second one is called non-polar dielectric. Listen to me. In case of polar dielectric, the center of gravity of positive charge and negative charge does not coincide with each other. It means they are apart at a distance. Clear? It means they does not overlap with each other. But in case of non-polar, the positive charge and negative charge overlap with each other. Overlap on each other in absence of electric field. In such a dielectric, center of gravity of positive charge and negative charge does not coincide with each other. That is, it means positive negative charge are at a distance of apart. That is permanent dipole moment. Clear? In such dielectric, center of gravity of positive charge and negative charge does not coincide with each other. In such dielectric, positive charge and negative charge coincide with each other. It means in absence of electric field, clear? When some electric field is applied, they get displaced. That is, they show temporary dipole moment. Clear? It means when electric field is applied, the positive charge and negative charge get displaced. Hence, they shows a dipole moment. Clear? The example is HCl, H2O, ammonia, etc. HCl means H plus Cl minus, H2O means H plus OH minus, etc. And here hydrogen molecule, nitrogen molecule and ammonia, etc. Clear? Listen to me, what I mean to say. I mean to say that in case of a polar dielectric, positive negative charge are permanently at a distance of apart. Hence, they shows a permanent dipole moment. But in case of non-polar, they overlap with each other. It means they coincide with each other, their center of gravity, in absence of electric field. But when some electric field is applied, they also shows a electric dipole moment. So, they possess a temporary dipole moment while they possess a permanent dipole moment. Clear? This is the difference between the polar dielectric and non-polar dielectric. But very, very important. That is, in absence of electric field they are distinguished, but in presence of electric field both behave similarly. Note, in presence of external electric field, both non-polar and polar dielectric possess electric dipole moment, that is, behaves in similar way in presence of electric field. Clear? So, in presence of electric field, polar dielectric and non-polar dielectric behave similarly. Clear? Now, listen to me. This is positive charge and negative charge is induced at its near end. Well, this plate is negative charge, so positive charge is induced at the side. Listen to me, what I mean to say. I would like to say that as this negative charge will be lies on side, so near end of the atom will be positive charge. Next, hence they align from the negative to positive. Clear? I would like to say that this positive negative charge at the center, positive negative charge will be at the center, will cancel each other's effect. Here also, positive negative cancel, 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 positive negative cancel. Clear? It means this side becomes negative, while this side becomes positive. So it behaves as a dipole moment. Clear? So it possesses a dipole moment and also it produces an induced charge, and that causes an induced electric field. Listen to me. This plate is positive and this plate is negative. So electric field, applied electric field moves from positive to negative. But inside the dielectric, it moves from positive to negative. So dielectric will move from positive to negative. So induced electric field is opposite to the electric field in A. Clear? Hence they are opposite to each other. So they cancel each other's effect, and according to the principle of superposition, the net electric field is equal to their difference. Clear? Let's discuss. And I would like to say that when this arrangement are done, the charge gets displaced, and such phenomena is called polarization of dielectric. The displacement of induced charge in a dielectric when subjected to a external electric field is called polarization. Clear? So when a dielectric slab is placed in between the parallel plates of capacitor, the charge, induced charge get displaced. Such phenomena is called polarization. Clear? The net electric dipole moment of each atom of the dielectric slab per unit volume is called its polarization density. It means polarization density is equal to capital P. So number of atom into dipole moment of each atom by volume. Clear? So if I will take that, the cancel the positive negative charge will be at the center will be cancel each other. So only negative charge. So net dipole moment I can write it as the induced charge into the distance between the edge of the two charges, because there is no charges at the center. The net is negative charge induced at the edge and positive charge induced at the next edge. Clear? So QIVT, volume of the dipole is A into D. So D cancel. That is QI, induced charge per unit area. And it is nothing but the surface charge density of the induced charge. Clear? Therefore I can say the polarization density of a dielectric slab is numerically equals to the surface charge density of the induced charge. Clear? Therefore, net electric field is equal to electric field in A minus electric field induced, because electric field in A moves from positive to negative and it also moves from positive to negative, but they are opposite to each other. Hence, net electric field is equal to E0 minus EI, or I can write it sigma by epsilon 0, that is charge density of each plate, minus EI is nothing but the sigma I by epsilon 0, where sigma E is equal to induced charge density, where sigma is equal to applied charge density of each plate of a capacitor. Or it can be written as E0 minus P by epsilon 0, where P is equal to sigma. Clear? Therefore, electric susceptibility is chi is equals to induced electric field by net electric field. Therefore, chi is equal to induced electric field is EI by net electric field is E. So I can write it EI is equal to susceptibility into E. Okay. Again, net electric field E is equal to E0 minus EI is equal to E0 minus chi into E. Take that side. So E0 is equal to E common 1 plus chi. If you take this factor towards left hand side, you will get it. So E is nothing but the E0 by K into 1 plus chi. But because we know that electric field in air by electric field in medium is equal to dielectric constant. So electric field in medium is E is equal to electric field in air by dielectric constant. If you do so, then E0 will cancel each other. It is found to be K is equal to 1 plus chi. This is an important question. I think this is the important question in according to exam point of view, and it is already appeared in 2020 CBSE. 2020 CBSE. This year also. Clear? What is the relation between the dielectric constant and susceptibility? This is the relation between dielectric constant and susceptibility. Okay? I hope this is another question is that in 2018, where the electric energy is stored, and how it stores. Because when we store some amount of energy in a capacitor is a device where we can store electric energy in a limited space. Then now the question is how this energy will be stored. It is stored in the form of electric field, that is called induced electric field, EI. Clear? And it is due to polarization of dielectric. Clear? So we have already discussed dielectric and its type, polarization of dielectric, and the relation between electric susceptibility and a dielectric constant. What? K. Clear? Now, when a dielectric slab is placed in a parallel plate capacitor, what factor gets changed? Answer: electric field gets changed, potential gets changed, capacitance gets changed, energy gets changed. What remains constant? The charge remains constant. Charge is not affected by dielectric constant. Clear? Effect of dielectric to electrostatic force F directly proportional to 1 by K. That is, K is equal to force in air by force in medium, or force in medium is equal to force in air by K. It means when dielectric constant increases, force decreases. To electric field intensity, E again proportional to 1 by K. That is, K is equal to electric field in air by electric field in medium. Hence, E medium is equal to E0 by K. That is, again, with the increase in dielectric constant, electric field also decreases. To electric potential, V also proportional to 1 by K. That is K is equal to potential in air by potential in medium. Therefore, potential in medium is equal to V0 by K. Again, with increase in dielectric, potential also decreases. To electrostatic energy, clear? Energy of a capacitor, we can write it as W is equal to half Q square by C to capacitance. So capacitance C directly proportional to K, because C is equal to, or C medium is equal to C0 into K, or we can write it as A epsilon 0 by D into K. So it is A epsilon 0 by D means C0, so C medium directly proportional to K, or I can write it as a C medium is equal to K dielectric constant is equal to C medium by Ca. Hence C medium is equal to K into C0. With increase in dielectric, everyone get a decrease while the capacitance increase. Now to discuss about the energy. What remains constant? Sir, if dielectric, what remains constant? Q remains same. Dielectric constant does not affect the charge. As Q remains constant, so W proportional to 1 by C and C proportional to K. So we can conclude that W proportional to 1 by K. Clear? So with increase in dielectric, what happens? Potential energy decreases. Clear? Electric capacitance of two concentric spherical conductor. If first spherical conductor outer surface is earth. This will be, if first spherical conductor outer surface is earth. Let us imagine I have taken two concentric sphere of radius. Let smaller radius will be A and outer radius will be B. If the outer surface is earth, let this surface is earth. If this surface is earth, means this is charged with a charge Q. Clear? If this is positive charge, the near end of it will induce what? The negative charge. Hence it behaves as a parallel plate capacitor. Let us imagine two spherical conductor of radius A, B respectively. Let outer surface of outer sphere is earth, while inner sphere is charged Q. Hence, it behaves as a parallel plate capacitor Okay. Let P with any observation point at a distance r. Any observation point in between two concentric sphere. Clear? Therefore, potential difference at P is equal to dBr is equal to the negative line integral of EdR. Clear? So, or I can write it as a dB is equal to EdR, or I can write V is equal to the electric field for a spherical conductor is how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r square dr. Integration from how much? If there is no button 0, after doing the potential varies from 0 to V, while outer sphere to inner sphere, B to A, it is found to be V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q, the negative sign, 1 by r square dr. B to A is found to be minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, how much? Q minus 1 by r, the lower limit, B to A, this minus minus cancel, is found to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q 1 by A minus 1 by B. This is found to be the potential difference at in between the two spheres. Okay. Now the capacitance. Therefore, electrical capacitance C is equal to Q by V. Q V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q 1 by A minus 1 by B. Q get cancelled and C is found to be this, or by solving it 4 pi epsilon 0 goes to the numerator, AB by B minus A. Clear? This is the expression for the electric capacitance of a two concentric sphere if outer surface get earth. Clear? This is the expression for the outer surface concentric sphere for two concentric sphere if outer surface is earth. And let us imagine the inner surface is earth. Then what happens to it? Let this inner sphere is earth. It means outer surface is charged. With a charge Q. It means negative charge is induced at its near end. Clear? The outer surface of the inner sphere. Let us consider two this is the expression for B if inner surface is earth. Two concentric sphere of radius A comma B and A smaller than B respectively. As the inner sphere, as the inner surface of inner sphere is earthed and outer sphere is charged. with the charge Q respectively. It means the Q charge is distributed over the outer sphere, while as it is positive, the near end of the parallel plate behaves induced negative charge. Hence, there is a 2 capacitor because this Q charge is divided into 2 parts. Let total charge is Q, inner outer surface is Q1, the inner surface is Q2. It means the outer surface, the charge is equally distributed over its 2 surfaces. Clear? Outer surface as well as inner surface. It means the Q2 charge will behave as one capacitor, while the Q1 charge behaves as another capacitor. It means there are 2 capacitors are there. As Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2, there is 2 capacitor, that is C effective is equal to C1 plus C2. C1 due to inner and C2 due to this. Sorry, C2 due to C1 due to outer and C2. So outer surface is 4 pi epsilon 0 B, while the inner surface behaves as a first one, that is 4 pi epsilon 0 AB by B minus A. That is 4 pi epsilon 0 common. B square minus AB plus AB cancel out. It is found to be B square by B minus A. This is the capacitance for a 2 parallel concentric sphere. If inner sphere is H, very important. If inner sphere is H, it is found to be 4 pi epsilon 0 B square by B minus A. If outer surface is H, then there is only one capacitor, that is 4 pi epsilon 0 AB by B minus A. Clear? Next. Electric capacitance of 2 concentric cylindrical conductor. Now, 2 cylindrical conductor. Let us imagine I have assumed a cylindrical conductor. That inner sphere is radius A and the outer surface is B. Clear? Let the inner is charged with what? Positive charge Q. Clear? And the outer surface is H. As 2 cylinder whose inner surface concentric cylinder are taken, one is positive charge and another having induced negative charge. Clear? Hence the behaves as a capacitor. Let P with any position in between the 2 concentric cylinder, then the potential difference at P dV is equal to again negative line integral of electric field. For a cylindrical conductor, or we know that for a linear charge distribution, electric field is lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 R dr. Integrating both sides with proper limit. How much? dV 0 to B is lambda 2 pi epsilon 0 taken outside as a constant, while 1 by R dr outer sphere to inner sphere, that is B to A, and it is found to be lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0. 1 by R dr integration is log E R. How much? B to A. Assuming negative sign, it is to be A to B. Clear? So this negative sign changes the upper limit and lower limit. So it is from A to B, or V is lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 log A B minus log A, or V is found to be lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 log E B by A. So this is the expression for the potential difference we have already discussed in electric potential class number 3. But now I would like to say that how much the capacitance. As we know that the linear charge density is nothing but the Q by L, the amount of charge stored per unit length, or I can write it as a Q is equal to lambda into L. Clear? So if so, then the capacitance is therefore electric capacitance C is equal to Q by B. So Q is equal to lambda L, B means lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 log E B by A. So lambda cancel. So C is found to be 2 pi epsilon 0 L by log E B by A. This is purely designed for CBSE students. Clear? Only CBSE students. So we have already discussed about the electric capacitance of spherical conductor as well as the two concentric cylindrical conductor. Now the important part, which is most important for CHSE, CBSE or ISA. I would like to say that sharing of capacitor. Sharing of capacitor means in life when two capacitor of different potential, connected in parallel, there is a charge flow from higher potential to lower potential. Clear? Until and unless the potential of each capacitor are equal, such phenomena is called sharing of capacitor. Clear? Let two capacitor, this is positive plate, this positive plate, positive plate, positive plate, positive, negative, 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 negative. This is capacitance C1, potential difference is B1. This charge flow is Q1, charge flow is C2, capacitance C2, charge flow Q2, capacitance C2 and potential difference is V2 and V1 larger than V2. As the two capacitors are having different potential, then charge flow takes place from higher potential to lower potential, that is from capacitor C1 to C2. When two capacitors of different potential connected in parallel, then there is a charge flow from higher potential to lower potential until the potential of each capacitor becomes equal. Such potential is called common potential. And such phenomena is called sharing of capacitor. Clear? It means here two capacitors are taken, C1 and C2. V1 is having high potential, so charge flow takes place from high potential to lower potential until and unless the potential of each capacitor becomes equal. Clear? So the common potential is total charge by total capacitance. Clear? Sure. Total charge is Q1 plus Q2, and these two capacitors are connected in parallel. So parallel capacitors, the effective capacitance is C1 plus C2. So common potential is found to be V is equal to Q1 plus Q2 means C1 V1, because C1 is equal to Q1 by V1 or Q1 is equal to C1 V1. Similarly, Q2 is equal to C2 V2 by C1 plus C2. This is common potential. If that much potential is obtained by the two capacitors, then there is no charge flow. Clear? And that potential is called common potential. Clear? And whenever there is a sharing, if in that process, if someone is losing some energy and another one is gain some energy, that is called loss in energy. Clear? So in sharing, there is some loss in energy. So loss in energy is equal to du. Therefore, Tu is equal to energy before sharing minus energy after sharing. Before sharing is half C1 V1 square, half C2 V2 square, because this is the initial energy, C1 is the capacitance, V1 is the, so energy will be half C1 square V1 square plus half C2 V2 square. And after sharing, these two capacitors becomes a single, that is effective capacitance is half C1 plus C2 into V square. Clear? Instead of V, I can write C1 V1. Therefore, du is equal to half C1 V1 square half C2 V2 square minus half C1 plus C2 V is equal to C1 V1 C2 V2 by C1 plus C2 whole square. So instead of V, I use this one. Clear? So by calculation we obtained, so half C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 into V1 minus V2. Clear? This is the expression for the energy loss when two capacitors are in sharing. Clear? It means in today's class we have discussed a lot of things about the dielectric, its polarization, the relation between the dielectric constant and susceptibility, then different types of CBS equations like the capacity of a two concentric sphere, two concentric cylinder, and also at last we conclude with the sharing of capacitor. Okay, this finishes your conceptual class. Next class we will discuss about the equivalent capacitance of number of capacitors. That is in fourth class. Till then, bye. Have a good day. Bye.